Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And while the girls are still on a break, I'm taking advantage of this opportunity to ambush interview them for my channel. So here it is. I'm so happy that she has given me her time to do this interview with her just in the nick of time. Please say hello to Miss Earth Indonesia 2023, Cindy Inanto. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, mabuhay.
My gosh, you look like a mannequin doll in
Really?
person.
He's too sweet. He's lying.
Uh,
He's lying.
of course, yeah, I am.
I'm getting diabetes.
Yeah. But seriously, you have been holding your own against the other delegates since day one here in Vietnam. How has it been like for you?
Thank you so much for you to say that I'm holding my own. I thought all the other delegates were very strong, very inspirational. Like I just watching them, I'm learning a lot in like how I present myself, how I dress, and also the way I speak.
Yes.
Like everyone has been such great teachers to me.
To be honest, the first time I was able to notice you was during the landmark video that you uploaded, where I happened to be one of the judges. So thank you to Carissa Productions for making me as one of the online judges for that particular event, for that particular activity. And I noticed your speaking abilities right away as you talk about your city. Yeah, so wow, she looks promising. And then when you finally came here and seeing your photos and videos online, wow. Yeah, wow. Special, that if the thing about Miss Earth is that they're championing ladies who are very natural about themselves, whether beauty wise or speaking ability wise, and she has both. Yeah, she can mesmerize a lot of people even with minimal makeup. That
Thank you so much. Thank you. You're very sweet.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a no makeup challenge here in Vietnam, which unfortunately it doesn't have, she'll be part of the list.
I will lose because I've seen Yana. I was Yana's roommate for a bit, and she looks the same. Without makeup, she looks the same. So, like, she would definitely win that one.
But thank you for sharing that opinion, for deflecting the compliment to our very own Yana. But you are a looker in your own right.
No, I look like my brother without makeup.
But see, oh no!
I
Oh,
do.
your brother must be good looking then. Mm. Is he here? Can we meet him?
Is that here?
But seriously, you've been doing well in the competition, especially when you talk about your passions and advocacies, your beauty comes out more.
Thank you.
So, what's it about Miss Earth that draw you to join it?
I've always been passionate about giving back to the world, and with Miss Earth, I'm able to do something that's impactful, that's actually currently very important in our daily life. It's impacting businesses, the economy, all the countries in the world, and especially our lives. So Miss Earth, because it's advocating for the conservation of the environment, this is a problem that we all have to tackle right now. It is the most relevant thing right now, and this is why I chose Miss Earth.
How did you develop your love for the environment?
I've just been growing up, I see a lot of changes in my country, changes from businesses. These businesses destroy the environment, but they also bring positive change in our local community. I've seen infrastructures being built, electricity brought into like remote areas, fiber optic internet, and even banks started popping up like to provide financial services, because remote areas, when businesses come to that place, they become flourishing. They prosper, and the standard of living people in that area increases. So I've seen that businesses are great for the people, just not for the environment. And I really want to make sure that these businesses are able to improve the environment as well. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be destructive to the environment, but prosperous for the people. It could be both. We could bring prosperity to people and also bring prosperity to the environment. Yeah. So that's where the passion comes from.
Based on your findings, studies, research, how many percentage of companies in Indonesia are doing well both business-wise and environmentally wise?
Sadly, I would have to say not a lot. Our industry relies mostly on agriculture, so we do clear a lot of land for plantations, tobacco plantations, tea plantations, palm oil plantations. So we're quite destructive to the environment. But the good thing is that our government is really committed to make a change, because 90%, wait, 80% of our electricity is generated by coal. It's causing a lot of air pollution. So our government has made a move to build alternative sources of energy. Recently, we just opened a floating solar power plant that could take the load off our coal-powered generator. So this power plant could generate around 192 megawatts of electricity, powering 50,000 homes. So it's something that I'm really proud about. It's like our first step into a greener and more environmentally friendly country.
Wow, wow. No, how can you encourage, as I listen more about it, about you talking about how companies could adapt both in terms of business wise and being environmentally friendly, how can you encourage them to develop a huge social responsibility?
So at the moment, for businesses that are destroying the environment, unfortunately, I cannot do much for them. They could only do things more sustainably, but then their businesses are carbon negative. But what I can do is encourage other people to build new businesses, so that would bring more revenue to the economy. And these businesses need to either be carbon neutral or carbon negative. One of my ideas for such a business is kelp forest.
Sorry?
Kelp forest.
Kelp?
Kelp.
Kelp?
Kelp, yeah. It's a type of like sea vegetable. So if I can grow kelp forest in the sea, it's not going to step on any business's toes because I'm not taking their land, so they would be supporting my idea. And also because it's in the sea, we have 75% of the world's surface covered in the sea. So all that free real estate can be used to fight climate change. And then these carbon sinks can be used, if I want to make money out of it, I can sell carbon credits. So that when I generate that revenue, that money can be used for other researchers, that fight climate change, maybe educate children more, give them scholarships so they can be future environmental engineers and so on.
Wait, can you educate me more about it? It's my first time to hear kelp environment. So is there a technology for you to be able to plant seeds in the ground underwater sea level?
There are sea plants, so they naturally occur in the sea already, but we just want to breed them a lot more so that they're just more abundant.
Yeah. All right.
One way, there's a business that does that. So what they do is they create buoyant lines in the sea, and then those kelp can grow from that buoyant line.
So, what kind of sustenance or nutrition or crops or produce can we get from kelps?
So not just kelp, so like other sea vegetables work just as well, but kelp, because they're just bigger, that's what we'll use for the example. So kelp can be harvested to be eaten. It's a very nutritious source of food. It's full of fiber, vitamins, and minerals. And also, in addition to being food, it can be used in cosmetics. Yeah, so it's actually like something very useful for the environment, but if we consume it, it will release the carbon back into the air. So if we don't consume it, it will just keep all the carbon and sink into the sea. Yeah, so it's like a win-win. If we want to sell it, we can get money. Want to sell the carbon credit, we can get money. Or if we don't sell it, it just absorbs all the carbon. Amazing.
How do you see the future of that particular industry?
I really think that at the moment our biggest problem is the carbon in the air, and it's all out there because we've dug out all the fossil fuel from the ground. All this carbon that's been stored underground for millions of years, we just dug them out in the last 70 years and throw them out all in the air. So one way we can solve this problem is not just using natural sources, but that's just the first step. So the natural way right now that I can think of is the sea vegetables. And then the second phase would be adding onto that with more artificial methods. Like there are Like there are companies that just sucks up all the carbon from the air and inject it deep into the ground, reversing that process that we do when we take fossil fuel
Yeah.
out. Yeah. So there are companies like that. That's the second step. And then if you have more time, I would also like to get like people in the world to increase their education level because from statistics, when a population is more educated, they are less likely to have many children. And if we don't have that many people, we don't have that big of a population, we can decrease the amount of carbon that we release, right? Because
Yes.
there's just not that much demand. So that would be phase 3 of my plan. And then if we think about how, because we're not having that much children, there's nobody to support the aging population. The solution to that would be artificial intelligence.
Whoa.
See, this is a very unique time when we can solve this problem like all together at once. It's not going to take a year. It's going to take like 20, 30 years. But then we have all the technology, not just in this, but even in alternative energy front. With nuclear power generation, we have managed to create a kind of power generation that doesn't produce radioactive waste. Okay, but it's very new. It's only done in lab conditions, so that would take like a few more decades for it to be applicable in daily lives. But it's here. We're very close to all these technologies that can actually fight climate change, not just greenwashing it. So I'm just happy to be here at this time. Just the right place, right time.
So in relation to what you have been saying, in what you have outlined, what concrete steps, have you done any concrete steps to implement that, and how has your community responded to it?
Concrete steps would be having like my little seaweed farms, but then it is at the moment what I'm doing right now, doing interviews when I come here, having this platform. With Miss Earth, I get to meet all the important people. Recently, I met the Consulate General of Indonesia, and at that event, I met Consulate Generals from other countries, and very lucky of me, I've been able to voice to them my solution, and it looked like they're very encouraging, and they think it is something that they can support. So just things like that, like having a platform and meeting important and influential people so that they can hear what I have to say, my idea, and implement it in a bigger scale.
Wow. Wow.
So I know, like a lot of people ask me, like, what is my expectations and things like that. And I have to be honest, a lot of people, even in my country, told me that I'm not going to win. And like they even told me that I might not even place, and that's okay. That's okay for me. The most important thing is I get to be here and I get to speak to people and tell them the ideas that I have that can make an impact. And as long as they can hear what I have to say and I'm making a change, I'm very happy and satisfied.